The only drama that's been going on longer, I think longer, maybe not, maybe it's just as long as the Vin Diesel and Dwayne The Rock Johnson stuff, is the forever turning sands of time in the drama known as James Gunn and Disney. Of course, you know, James Gunn burst onto the scene with Disney. Now, a lot of people didn't know James Gunn was at work because not a lot of people had seen Super or Slither or any of his Troma stuff or whatever, right? And they just heard his name when they announced this movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, to which the whole world went, what? And it's going to be directed by James Gunn, to which the whole world went, who? But that movie came out, became a huge blockbuster success. It opened up the intergalactic world of the MCU in a way that hadn't been previously available to them. Monster success, big plans ahead. Kevin Feige promotes James Gunn, not just to directing some movies. He's going to be his right-hand general in kind of scoping out and planning out the galactic end of the MCU and all this kind of stuff. They make Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I didn't like it quite as much as Guardians of the Galaxy 1, but it was still entertaining. Made a lot of money. Everything's good. And then tweets from 15 years ago came up. And of course, then he got fired from Disney. Every other studio lined up to hire him. He went to Warner Brothers, made Suicide Squad. Him and Disney made up. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming. And so we've all been excited about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But now he did a podcast. James Gunn did a podcast that came out today with the Hollywood Reporter. I can't remember the name of the podcast specifically, but he did one of the Hollywood Reporter's podcasts. And James Gunn has verified that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is it. That's it. This is it for this team. You're not going to see this team of Guardians of the Galaxy together again. This comes to us from the folks over at Polygon who write the following. A Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be the end of the road for this particular band of scrappy misfits, according to series director James Gunn. The upcoming superhero film, which is currently scheduled to be released on May 23rd, 2023, will close out this team's trilogy and story, the director told Deadline. Sorry, I said Hollywood Reporter, I meant Deadline. A Deadline on its Hero Nation podcast. Gunn was definitive in saying that this would be the last time people saw this group of characters together as the Guardians of the Galaxy, saying, this is the end for us. This is the last time people will see this team of Guardians. However, this shouldn't come as too much of a surprise for fans, as Gunn has been saying that the third movie would be the end as early as 2017, which of course he was, and he has for a long time. Even though that is true, and that he's been saying for a long time, this is going to be it, we're going to close it up here, whatever. I'm not going to lie to you, this is kind of heartbreaking to me. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think what James Gunn has created, what this cast has created with their chemistry, and when all the drama was going on between James Gunn and Disney, the tightness that whole team of people have together came very much to the forefront, and it shows on screen. They have a great second hand with each other, or a shorthand with each other, I should say. They know how to feed off each other. They have fantastic chemistry. I mean, all the dynamics between Gamora and Peter Quill, the dynamics between Gamora and Drax, the dynamics between Rocket and Drax, or Rocket and Peter. Like it's all works. Whatever mishmash of characters you put together in any particular scene, it all works. And I was hoping that there would be more. And I was hoping that James Gunn would end up being that guy that would forever unify the Marvel fanboys and the DC fanboys together, that he would jump back and forth making DC film and Marvel film and DC film and Marvel film, and everybody could hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but apparently that ain't happening. And that's fine. That's fine. This will be the third film he does. Thank you, James Gunn. Thank you, team that's doing it, and they're moving on. Now, it should be said here, Rob, that he didn't necessarily say this is the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Well, that's what I was going to say, John.
Period. But it sounds like when James Gunn says this is the last you're going to see of us, it sounds like he's kind of letting everybody know he's checking out. And we'll see where they go from there. But Rob, you hear this. Number one, I'm sure you're not surprised. But what do you think this means for Guardians of the Galaxy moving forward?
Well, there's a lot of really interesting questions. Gamora being one of them.
Yeah.
Our Gamora, the Guardians Gamora, is dead. The Gamora that now exists has never been a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And so it leads me to believe that this team is going to disassemble the way it assembled in the first Guardians movie. And I think people might be going their separate ways, but that doesn't mean we're not going to see them in other aspects of the Marvel universe or other areas or in other movies or other things. I mean, I could see we're getting a I Am Groot animated series.
Yep.
I would watch a Rocket Raccoon movie.
Hell
So would I.
I would absolutely watch a Rocket Raccoon movie. And, I'm still waiting for my buddy cop or a buddy, a Grandmaster and the Collector movie with Howard the Duck, where the three of them hit the galactic road less traveled.
Did you ever see the short film they did with Grandmaster and Daryl, Thor's old roommate?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
that was pretty great.
Since they're brothers, I'd love to see them go out, and I think it'd be hilarious. Jeff Goldblum and Benicio del Toro do that show. Where's that show?
I'm there for that. Chris, you hear about this apparently end of the road for the group that we have known as Guardians of the Galaxy. It kind of sounds like maybe James Gunn's also saying, this is my last hurrah doing this as well. Do you think they have a future going on here? Do you think we will see more Guardians of the Galaxy moving forward, or do you think this is kind of it for that?
I think we're going to see more of it, just different teams assembled, because y'all know that they've had so many different people on the roster before. So this opens some things up to some weird stuff, because that was what was so exciting when Guardians first hit the scene, right? It was, Marvel's going to do some B-sides. Marvel's going to do some stuff that mainstream comic fans don't necessarily know about at the time. So now we could get Angela in there. We could get Vance Astro. We could get Throg. Throg would be fun. No?
Throg and Rocket.
Yeah. Oh, a Throg and Rocket buddy comedy. That's what I want.
Yeah.
But there's probably one we won't see. And, we're talking about maybe we could see a Rocket standalone movie. Maybe. There is one that we probably won't see. And he's on the screen right now. We will probably not see a Drax the Destroyer movie, because when all that stuff was going on between James Gunn and Disney, I mean, hey, full marks to the big guy. But Dave Bautista is firmly loyal to James Gunn.
Yep.
And he said a lot of stuff when that was going on. And he may have burned some bridges there with Disney, which is fine. I mean, even if he's done like, if you count the Avengers films, he's done like, after this, like 5 films or something like that.
Although they're using him in those ads, like those Disney Plus ads.
He's doing all the streaming.
Where he's sitting in the boat?
Yeah, he's sitting in the boat, the white hair.
You know what? That's a good, by the way, I had to do a double take when I saw him in that commercial. Do you think maybe that's a sign that there was some kissing and making up?
I think probably
I would assume so.
That would be kind of nice.
I mean, but it is show business, not show friends.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
But because, listen, the thing is, they let him be Drax when he still wasn't yet that great of an actor. Over the years, because of the opportunities Guardians of the Galaxy has afforded him, he's gotten better and better.
Well, he really committed to acting classes and everything. He wanted to do a great job.
He said, I'm going to do the work and I'm going to work my ass off and I'm going to try to become better. He did much like what Channing Tatum did. Channing Tatum, there was a time I thought he was the worst working actor in Hollywood. Now I actually get really excited about seeing him. He's gotten better and better.
Magic Mike 3, come on, bro.
What's that?
Magic Mike 3.
Oh, I know
One
they're
of my
doing
most
Magic Mike
eagerly
3.
awaited sequels ever.
I still think you know what?
Not really.
I'm not going to tell the story I was about to tell. Filter between brain and mouth activated. Okay, so, but if you're Disney, you're kind of like, it would be good since we invested all this, if we can now reap some of the benefits of Dave Bautista actually being a pretty decent actor now. So I don't know, maybe there will be a future with him. That's a great point, Rob. I didn't even think about the fact that he's doing their commercials for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, who knows? Fingers crossed. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? James Gunn is saying this is it for what you know as Guardians of the Galaxy, and it sounds like he's saying it's it for him. Do you think they're going to relaunch with a brand new squad of Guardians? Maybe it's going to be a de facto Young Avengers. They're going to get all these kids in. I mean, I don't know. Whatever you guys are thinking, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.